What's going on? Welcome back, you all. Thank you all for tuning in. This is your girl, Tricuria. Try for short, try to remember. For those of you all who are new here, I do travel, poetry, and lifestyle. So let's go ahead and get into this video.
This year, swear we coming out strong. Don't hold back, gonna give it your all. Let go of mediocrity and step in greatness. Walk in your purpose, don't worry about the haters. They're programming and lying to the youth, sabotaging and distorting the truth. A wild guan with the world, what's the mood tough? Keep coming for me sisters and me brothers. I feel some type of way, I'm praying for the better days. What happened to the healers, dreamers, and the visionaries? Protect your mind and spirit by all means necessary. Systematic governments, mental penitentiaries. Break the curse, break the ceilings, break the cycle. You the one, already know it's in the Bible. Royal priesthood, melanated like the Messiah. I always stay lit, fam, I'm on fire. It's your time now, gonna shine now. Don't give up, keep it up, on the right route. On the rise now, I'm talking right now. Haters hate, let them hate, then they lights down. It's your time now, gonna shine now. Don't give up, keep it up, on the right route. On the rise now, I'm talking right now. Haters hate, let them hate, then they lights down.
So, y'all see the title, y'all already know the name of the game. This video is about things I wish I would have known before moving abroad. Y'all, when I tell you, the struggle has been real. It's been a beautiful struggle. Y'all know I love that statement, the beautiful struggle. But it has been beautiful, but also it ain't been easy, if you know what I'm saying. So let's get into it. I'm going to give you all 3 tips or 3 things that I wish I knew before moving abroad. And so, number 1, off the bat, y'all, maintaining friendships, relationships, what have you, seems to get increasingly more difficult. So let's just talk about first, like, geographically, time difference. Like, first of all, knowing that, like, we was just 5 hours ahead of the East Coast. Now it's 4 hours. 4 hours becomes a little bit more manageable, but 5 hours, imagine 5 whole hours. That's a long time. And then don't talk about if you in the Midwest, and if you on the West Coast, it becomes like a full work day at that point, like 8-hour difference. Like, can you really imagine? So I have noticed that maintaining friendships, relationships, what have you, whether it be, family or a significant other or whatever, can become increasingly more difficult. So we have to be intentional about making sure we continue to check in and keep a schedule. So I try to, like, at least try to talk to friends and family, like, the weekends or the evenings once I come home from work, send a little message or what have you. And even that, sometimes, like, some can feel like it's just like, oh, she's just sending this message, just like it's just a generic message she sent it to everybody. And my whole thing is, like, one thing that I've realized in my life, I've usually have always been the person to keep contact, keep relationships flowing. And I'm in a season, I'm tired of that. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm just gonna be honest. And excuse me if y'all hear the background noise. Like, I live in Dakar, Senegal. It's popping. Like, and plus, it's almost time for breaking the fast. So everybody is just out and about trying to rush home so they can go and break their fast for Ramadan. So for the Ndugu or Iftar. They call it Ndugu in Wolof and Iftar in Arabic. So anyways, like, keeping relationships can become increasingly difficult, and I found that I'm at the place where I don't want to be the one always having to, like, extend that hand. And I talked to a couple friends about it, and they're like, but sometimes God has gifted you for that ministry, to keep the relationship building and bonds. But sometimes you can just be like, dang, check on me, and don't get me wrong, I have my people that check on me and make sure they keep up and on it schedule wise. And we're getting older too, so everybody has their own lives, their schedules, etc. They're doing their thing, following their dreams as well, building families, etc. So I have to be mindful of that as well. So yes, that's number one. I wish would have known that like keeping relationship would be much more difficult. And so now let's go into number two. Second thing that I wish I would have known before moving abroad would be that, baby, if you don't have that steady income, you gotta get it, because it ain't for the weak. Like, it gets real, it gets really real. And fortunately, I'm in a profession where I can go anywhere in the world and have a job. Education, I'm solid, I'm good, and it's a crisis right now, so they need educators. And so luckily I've been blessed to choose a career path that is something that is of high need. So they still need to pay us more, but that's a conversation for another day. But yes, I wish I would have known that. Like, of course, but and like my whole thing was like, when I go, like, I'm not gonna have to leave and go back to America just to get money. Like, I was so adamant. And I had worked abroad, nonprofits, visited, etc. But I knew that when I went to move, I was gonna be in it. And y'all, I stayed 2 years. Look, it was so much so I stayed 2 years without going back home. 2 years without going back home. Imagine. So make sure that you have a set plan in place to have that money coming in, to have that moolah coming in, because you don't want to be out here in a foreign country with no bread. Like, you don't want to do it. You don't want to be calling home, oh, I need some. You don't want to do it. So make sure that you can sustain yourself. If you have children, your children, like your family unit, make sure that if you have a partner, like, y'all talk about it, y'all discuss it to make sure y'all are solid before making that step. Because baby, it ain't nothing worse than having to go back just because you ain't got the bread to do it. So if you want to go back because you want to, you make that decision. But having to, that's another story. And there have been stories where people, they come and whatever happens and they have to go back. And that's it's a life lesson, it's a learning lesson. But sometimes people are like, okay, well, now I know, so for the next time I'll be out here, I'll be good. So just know that from the start, from the jump, from the get-go, so you don't even have to put yourself in that situation. And so number three, what I wish I would have known before moving abroad, I wish I would have known that like I knew everything wouldn't be as like accessible. But baby, when I tell you, some places you go, like Dakar, Senegal, it is not things are not as easily accessible. Like, how we might be used to like having this and this. Like, things take much more time. It's a process. Like, you really have to like be patient. It does teach you patience. So if you ever went to HBCU, you definitely kind of know a little bit what I'm talking about as far as like systems working to be more efficient. And so I wish I would have known that before moving abroad, because it would have saved me a lot of frustration. Like, it, and you know what you're getting yourself into, but nothing really like prepares you for it until you're really in it. And that's why I love it too, because it stretches me, it makes me grow, it gets me outside my comfort zone, it makes me start moving into the step towards to achieve limitless possibilities. And so I'm grateful for the journey. Those are three things that I wish I would have known before I moved back, that cultivating and keeping relationships can become very tricky. You need to make sure you have a steady stream of income. And lastly, things might not come as easily. And so those are the 3 things. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you all for tuning in with me. It's your girl Tricaria. Until next time.